Hello! Today we are here to discuss Cult of the Deep. This is the Kickstarter version. So before we get into it though, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down there because you want to make sure you keep up with all of our latest Kickstarters that come in and all the old games that we've got.
Or whatever we're playing.
Yeah, whatever we decide we're going to do. Yeah, we got lots of things we do.
No rhyme or reason.
Yep. All right, so Rob, can you tell us about Cult of the Deep?
So Call of the Deep, this is a 2022 release. Ranked on BGG is 13,495. Pretty good rating at 8.0. A lot of people seem to like it. Designed by Sam Stockton. We got quite a few artists here. So we got Maura Elko, David Lee, Liam Peters, Jeanette Ramos, and Charles Walton. Let me first say, you guys did a good job. The art's amazing. Published by BA Games and got a couple different price lists. So if you get it on retail, which I don't know if it's available yet, it's going to be $36. Now, this version of the Kickstarter is $60, but there's an all-in version that comes with acrylic tokens instead of cardboard for $90, which probably hurts his feelings.
Yeah, it does make me a little sad. I didn't realize it was something even nicer.
Yeah. All
right, so let's talk about the quality of components. So you do get these metal coins. We didn't even use them in the games we played so far. So there's specific spells, I believe, that are going to utilize them.
Yeah.
You get these acrylic cubes that are your markers for your different
altars
that you're doing your spells on. You've got dice. They're nice, really pretty crystal ones. There's kind of a tealish colored one.
You got kind of a bluish and a reddish one. One for the I guess the cultists, and then
for the
wraiths.
And then you have the Kraken dice, which are four-sided dice.
And thankfully, we didn't have to use those.
Yes, the
that's
Kraken
a mean
is a
element of
beast. Yes, don't let him come up.
Yeah.
And then you've got cards that are like tarot size cards. But what's unique about them, at first when I got them out, I thought they were like water damage.
But there's a really cool element to it.
On the back of every card, and in different patterns depending on the type of card, they have little sigils, and they're really hard to see.
But if you get the light refracted off of it just right, they'll pop up.
Yeah.
And it's just super cool.
Yeah, and you can feel them. And so it adds a little texture to it, but they look really amazing.
Yeah, they do. It's a really neat, absolutely pointless, but it just adds a little something to it. It's really cool.
There's no linen finish on the cards. They're smooth other than that.
Yeah.
But it's such a cool effect. I mean, I think it would have taken away almost having the linen finish. So that is really neat. And then you've got the cheat
altar boards themselves. We mentioned the acrylic, but they are double layered. So.
Yeah. So all in all, I think they've done a fantastic job with stuff that they really didn't need to upgrade.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they've apparently even a higher level of upgrade with, like I said, the replacement tokens instead of the cardboard.
I mean, for $60, you get a lot of nice stuff.
Oh, and you get like
they're really nice bags.
They're nice bags for them, which I'm not sure why I needed them because, I mean, you're just using them for storage. You don't use them during gameplay.
But all in all, for $60, you get a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah.
It's a really nice Kickstarter for $60.
Yeah. So as far as rating on this, I'm probably at a 9, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think 9 is a good score. I mean, it's good components, good quality.
Yeah. So moving on to theme. So this is kind of a Cthulhu mythos type theme. You've got cultists, and they're trying to do what cultists do.
Which is not nice stuff.
In this case, if you've played the game Bang, it's the same principle. You've got a high priest, also the sheriff, it would be in essence in Bang, that is revealed, and all the other players are playing roles that are either trying to protect the high priest or trying to kill the high priest. And in some cases, try to be the only player left alive. So everybody's got roles that they're trying to fill. But in this case, you also get a character persona, which gives you special abilities. You get a sigil. It's a one-time use ability that you can do. And, so there's going to be a lot more.
And then there's ritual cards, too, that come out.
So. And those are the spells that you can complete during the course of the game. So they combine the gameplay of Bang with something like Elder Sign, where you've got dice that you're rolling to trigger effects either on your card, your opponent's cards, or the rituals in the altars. So I like the mashup they've done with this. It's a unique idea, and they've eliminated some of the that like player elimination. I don't like from Bang. They've got, they've incorporated where if you die, you become back as a wraith. You have less abilities. It's not quite as entertaining.
Yeah, it's not as entertaining. I died. I was the first one to die in the game, and I became a wraith. What was fun about it was I got to kind of jack with everybody else, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And it just got old after a while.
Yeah. So, but thematically, I think this fits the gameplay a lot. It's
and the art is fantastic.
Yeah, the art is amazing.
Thematically, the art is so good. And so just all hand-drawn, original art. No two cards are the same, so a lot of work and a lot of care went into it. And they got some, like I said, the artists they knocked it out. They really, really did a good job.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to ding this for. I mean, given all the components on it, it's...
For theme, I don't think we can ding it. I mean, I think that it's a 10.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean,
gameplay a little different, but theme, I think it's out there.
It's everything you could expect. It is in here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there.
And it would be even better if someone paid attention and got the acrylic tokens. So.
All right, so let's talk about the rule book then. So the rule book, real nice cover on it.
Really nice cover.
Yeah, it's a 22-page rule book. Now the font is really large. Got really large. You can see it from across the table for most of it. It's got nice pictures on it, but what it didn't have in it was there weren't examples. There weren't a lot of examples that should explain gameplay. And the other thing, there was a few, but they were like basically restating the exact thing.
Yeah.
I didn't find it to be helpful. The other thing that was missing was really a detailed explanation of every card. Now, there were some cards in here.
Right.
There was an FAQ where it went through questions and then went through cards, but it didn't contain everything.
And then it did come with the cheat sheet, so a little card, which is for the most part pretty useful. But the thing that's missing here is that it didn't have an explanation of all the different roles.
Yeah,
that way you can kind of know and be able to figure out. I mean, we knew who the high priest was or priestess, but we didn't know who the Kabbalists were or who the heretic was. And if we knew what their win conditions were, it might have helped.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was always available in the rule book.
It was in the book, but it was kind of in the middle of the book.
And so it would have been nice if it was on
the cheat sheets were pretty good, but that same stuff is on the quick reference sheet, and it still doesn't have the roles. So again, the main thing that was missing, I think, from all the cheat sheets was this how to win.
Yeah.
If they just put this page onto something that you could have had out easily. Even if it was on the back of the book and it was out
not a huge deal, but it would have been nice.
Yeah. I mean, once you got into it, you kind of got the gist of it. The only thing is it changes. Like if you die and you became a wraith, it changed a bit. And so there was a lot of different scenarios that could come up. And, getting the terminology right of like the Cabal versus the Kabbalist for the cultists or the heretic or whatever, just getting all the
and it was confusing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was confused on my win condition. I thought I understood it, but then I didn't get it, and it was just the wording was a little off, but not a big deal.
But all in all, the rulebook does a decent job. I just think it could have been a little clearer. It definitely needed a little more clarification on the cheat sheets, I think. But I'm probably going to go ahead and give this a 7. I think it was a decent book. It wasn't bad. We were able to figure it out pretty easily.
And then as someone who listens to it, I didn't need to reference the rule book. I just, like I said, it'd have been nice on the cheat sheet, but it did its job. It was functional.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to gameplay. So at the beginning of the game, like we said, we were going to get dealt.
Yeah, you get 3 cards.
You're going to get hidden secret roll. You're going to have a character card, which is going to be revealed to everyone, and it's got a life meter on it, so you'll get that much health. What's interesting about this game is that's not a maximum. That is your starting health.
As you possibly
but you can gain or lose health. I mean, there's no restriction how much you can gain. And then you're going to have a card that is your sigil that you can trigger one time during the game, and it will give you a powerful ability.
Yeah.
That was truly powerful.
Totally took me out of the game.
Yeah, everybody's was pretty powerful. I didn't see any of them that felt were weak.
Mine was powerful, but man, being able to move those dice that annihilated me it was brutal.
Yeah, I was very happy I was able to save mine until after everybody else burned theirs. So that's what saved me at the end.
Right.
And then you're going to, like we mentioned,
so you got a character card.
There's based upon the number of players, there's going to be a number of altars out here, and there'll be a number of ritual cards played on each one on each. And those rituals have icons that match pips, or not pips, but the icon faces of the dice. And you're going to then set the meters, in most cases, to the number of players count. But
unless it specifically says a different number.
Yeah. In some cases, it'll tell you that you put it on a specific number because, they made you be very specific on the cards. And if so, the cards override.
And they either help or hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, some were definitely more powerful than others, but they were all pretty functional cards.
Some of these were like useful when you cast them, and some of them you cast them to prevent bad things from happening or to get rid of the card because the card just was awful. Like at the end, we got one that every round got more powerful and it drained health from every player. Mm-hmm. So we that's what ended up winning the game or ending the game for us because it took us all out. So that card kind of sucked.
And it helped me when I won the game because of that. So it helped.
Well, we all
we did. Yeah, but there's 3 of us that technically won. But I'm number 1 winner. So
well, you died first.
That's right. So
you number 1 death
and winner.
I think I did my share, keeping us going.
You're all right.
All right. So after you get your rolls, then whoever is the high priest.
Yes.
Or priestess, in this case Miranda, is going to take 5 dice, and they're going to roll them. And you get, just like in Elder Sign, you're going to get 3 rolls, and you get to decide which dice you're going to keep and what you're going to get rid of. So, I rolled one of the red dice, I think. No,
that's right.
It just looked like the different cast.
And you just got different die faces, and you got 2 attack dice,
and then
you got
daggers. They're single and double daggers, and those will do single or double damage to your opponents, which you can choose who to allocate them to at the end. You have dice that have different icons that or trigger things depending on what they are. So you get this kind of a swirly thing, a scroll, and kind of almost looks like a tentacle creature with a pyramid. Those will trigger different things, and then there's a blood, which is a health meter that you can apply to yourself to gain a health. Mm-hmm. So those are the different sides, and you can keep rolling and keeping whichever one's up to 3 times, and then whatever you get at the end, you have to take, and you have to assign all the dice if you can.
And unlike Bane, where you can only target the person on your left and right, you can target anybody in the game.
Yeah.
So you can attack, help. If like maybe the one you're trying to help needs help, you can give them help instead of giving it to yourself.
So, here I got 2 daggers, so I can attack the person over here, which actually was me. Attack the person over here. You normally don't get to attack yourself, so I'm pretending I'm not that person at the moment. And then I've got 2 that match my face icon, because your character has an icon in the upper corner. So in addition to the blood symbol, if you get the icon that matches your symbol, it also adds health to you. And then this symbol doesn't match anything, so I couldn't have used it. Well, I think Caleb had that symbol.
Yeah.
So I would, even if somebody I don't want to help,
that's an interesting part of the game.
I have to use this die, so I would have to give Caleb that die, and he would gain a health for it. So once I've done that, now we don't trigger it immediately.
Yeah, that's just called the commit phase. Then we got to go into the response phase.
Right. So then everybody at the table gets time to decide whether they want the dice to be played the way they are, and that if they don't, they can do whatever effects they have to try to change that. So it might be redirecting a die, it might be changing the face of dice, and maybe adding dice into the pool, or taking them out of the pool. So once everybody's had an opportunity to decide what they're going to do, and everybody's happy with the condition, then it's now the resolve phase. Mm-hmm. And at that point, everything gets resolved. So you can choose as the player what order things are resolved in. But in this case, I would gain 2 health as this character, and they would get added back onto my card. And this person would lose a life. And over here, they would lose a life. And then the person, Caleb's character on the other side, would gain a life as well.
And timing is really important because, I had abilities that went off during the resolve phase. So because it went off in the resolve phase, there was very little they could do to change that. But during that commit phase, there was a lot of opportunity. And the response phase, there's a lot of opportunities to make changes, whereas in the resolve, you can't.
Right. So, and then each character is looking to do different things. So like this high priest is wanting to survive, and to basically that's their goal, is to just stay alive. They get to start the game get 3 additional life per Kabbalist, who are the kind of the outlaws of the game.
Right, and since you don't know who the Kabbalist is, you just know they're in the game.
Yeah, you know the distribution of cards, so that there's 2 Kabbalists in the game.
In a 5-player game.
Yeah, so she would, in this case, Miranda is playing. She got 6 additional life to start the game on top of the 18 of her character. So her goal to win is if the Kabbalists are killed and the heretic, and that was the key in this game.
And the heretic.
Yes, because the heretic is kind of like the renegade in the Bang, where they have to stay alive and try to kill everybody and take out the sheriff last and still be alive. In this case, their goal is to make sure that everybody dies, and then the sheriff or the high priest dies, and they're still alive, or everybody dies, and then they win basically cohesively with
the
Kabbalists. The Kabbalists obviously are trying to kill the high priest, and their entire focus is trying to do that. So one thing we saw that doesn't typically happen in Bang is out of the gate, the Kabbalists were immediately gunning for
Caleb and I were both Kabbalists, and it was very clear because we immediately went to the high priest. And honestly, I don't know if I would have played it any differently. But I mean, I know that there's strategy to that, but I don't know. Just playing this the one time, I still don't know if I would change that way I played the game.
Because in essence, what that does, especially with a 5-player game,
it announces
announces they're the Kabbalists, which means the other 2 players are either the people that are protecting the high priest, which is what Jason's character was. He was the faithful.
So the only job that faithful was is to protect the high priest.
Right. So the faithful is basically the deputies in the Bang.
But he wants everybody else but the high priest to die.
Right. And and mine was the heretic, and I was trying to be the last survivor. So the heretic and the deputy were basically acting alike throughout the whole game, trying to protect the high priest. But that made it so basically it came down to the divide across the table of which roles.
It was 3 versus 2.
Yeah, no matter how you looked at it, it was 3 versus 2 until the end, once the 2 Kabbalists were eliminated, and then it was basically 1 versus 1 with the
priest just trying
to stay between the 2 because nobody was going to attack the priest until the other one was eliminated. So basically, the priest didn't know which one it was, so they were kind of targeting both.
Until Jason died. And then when Jason died, bam, he was the faithful. And he did it. Randy did a great job of convincing Miranda that he was the faithful.
So once we got to the point where it was the 2 of us, it was just now go back. But because they were now wraiths, they could still influence, and they use the red dice, similar to what the blue dice are, but they only get to roll and basically swap out dice on other players' turns. They can't actually assign the dice. They can't do anything.
They just replace them.
They can replace them, but if they still have their sigil, they can still trigger their sigil too. In this case, you guys both used your sigil before you died.
Right.
So you didn't have that ability, but you could still do so. And this was all the way down to the wire. We had it was 2 life to 3 life, and then we both lost all of our life due to that stupid card over there.
And then Kabbalists, as long as everybody's dead, then they win the game. And then Heretic got, because he lost his life last, right?
Yeah, well, it was
he died last.
And the fact that the Kabbalists were all dead.
Yeah, so because of that, we won.
Yeah, so I like these kind of games. This one at least takes out the elimination aspect of Bang, which is one of my grievances with Bang. Because I really don't like when people have to sit out for a long period of time. Now, I will say that when you get eliminated, it's still not as fun or as engaging.
No, it's not. But, I mean, I think part of the fun of the game, and you mentioned it earlier, if you got a good group of people that's into this type of game, even if you're a wraith, I think you can still have a lot of fun because it's that interaction that you're having. But if you got people that aren't into this type of game, being a wraith will suck.
Yeah. And there's more to do in this. Like in Bang, when you're playing a card, and there may be some back and forth of playing cards from your hand. But In this case, you're rolling the dice, you're triggering, deciding, you got the rituals, you got other people's cards, you got your own cards that you can choose.
And the fact that, I don't know if we really mentioned, but you can reallocate. So that if someone gives you a dice that replaces your die, you can then give that dice to someone else.
Yeah.
And that was a really big part of it too, because I learned the hard way. If I gave it to Miranda, Miranda then could give it to Randy, and he could have got hit. And I didn't want him to die. Not yet. I wanted the priest to die.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think there's a lot more interaction in this one than there is in Bang. That said, it's still Bang. I mean, it's still the same concept. It's still, if you like Bang, you'll like this probably.
I think I like it better than Bang.
Yeah.
I think I do, because, again, you don't have the player elimination, which sucks in Bang, but I think the art's better.
Yeah.
I think just overall the interaction and more fun playing this than I did. Even though I was a Wraith early on, I did have fun initially, just swapping those dice out and jacking with people.
Yeah.
That was fun. Whereas Bang, I'd be, on my phone or whatever, waiting until the game was over.
Yeah.
And so at least there's a little bit more.
Yeah, there's more of that. And, I mean, the art is beautiful.
It
While
really
you're playing, it's eye candy the whole time. So, I mean, I think I agree with you. I think I like it better than Bang. But it's still not as far as hidden trader games go, it's not up there with like Battlestar or even Unfathomable or any of those. Those to me are the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
But it is quicker. This
was
much faster. It could have dragged out because you can build your life up extensively, and it could take a while to knock that life down. But eventually, it's going to fall.
Well, especially with the rituals, because we mentioned the Kraken. The Kraken is a nasty card. Yeah, basically, as long as it's out in play, everyone gets a Kraken die, and you got to roll it, and that's how much damage you get.
Yeah.
And then you can mitigate that a little bit by sacrificing your dice that you would roll.
But you then re-roll it, and you can roll the same thing again or worse.
So I mean, I think it's built into the game where it will speed itself up.
Yeah, and I think that's important.
I do too.
So as much as I hate the Kraken, I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
So or cards like that one over there that just it builds upon itself to drain you.
That card was nasty.
Yeah. So all in all, I think it was well designed. I think it's again, if you have the right crowd, this is a great type of game to play. If you have, Miranda is not the right crowd for this. I can tell you that. That's why she's not in this video, because this is not the kind of game she likes. And she was a trooper for playing it. Yeah. So, but I really wanted to get this to the table because, I kind of committed to the person that designed it. I would try to get a review up for him. And, I think, it was still a good crowd. I think we had a good time. Enjoy it. Even Miranda was laughing.
To some degree,
it. But I think it gives the tension of it. If you don't like games that could cause stress because you're frustrated because you don't know what people are doing and who's stabbing who,
getting attacked a lot.
I love that kind of tension. I love those kind of games, but not everybody does.
Right.
So if you like those kind of games, this is a good game.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Yeah. If you like Bang, this is better. This is better, in our opinion.
Yeah.
If you like. If you like Elder Sign or the Cthulhu mythos, it's got that, and you're going to enjoy it for that factor. So, as long as you don't mind hidden trader type games.
So, what would you score it overall?
I'm probably going to give it an 8. I think that's right.
I think that's where I'm at too. I think 8's a good solid score, and I think it's a good solid game.
Yeah,
I think 8's a good score.
And,
that's what I give it.
I mean, if I was to get it though, I would definitely want this level of the game.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Or better.
I'm assuming the dice will probably be the same in the retail, but you probably have the boards probably wouldn't be as good in the regular retail version.
Yeah.
I bet the money would be cardboard, or not the money, but the whatever these tokens are, they wouldn't be metal. They would probably be cardboard as well.
But the thing is, it's absolutely unnecessary for them to be that because you're not going to use them that often. But they look really cool.
Yeah, they look really cool. And who doesn't want to pimp out their game?
Yes, exactly. Because this comes basically pre-pimped out.
Yeah.
And, it would have been nicer now knowing these were actually could have been nicer. But, I'll take what I can get.
They'll probably get Miranda 3D print them or something.
I'm probably going to try to find this place at Gen Con and see if I can find them.
Yeah. So,
but
all right. That's what we think of it. Yep. What do you think?
Yeah.
If you get a chance to play it, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We'd love to hear. What's your favorite Hidden Trader games? I'm always in the look for those. So if you have a Hidden Trader game you think is just the best, I'd love to hear about it. I don't think it'll be Battlestar for me, but I'd like to hear about it.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. If you're at Gen Con, come see us.
Come find
us. See you there.
Bye.
Bye.